Our story begins with Jonathan Harker, a London-based lawyer and solicitor, nearing the end of his journey to the castle of Count Dracula in Transylvania. On the last day of his travels, Harker starts to leave the house of a Transylvanian elderly woman, with which he has stayed for the night.
Thank you so much for your hospitality. Really, I couldn't thank you enough.
Don't go!
No, don't worry. I'll be safe in Castle Dracula.
Ay! Take this!
Why?
When he exits, Dracula has sent a horse and coach to fetch him and take him to the castle. Harker is puzzled after seeing strange warning signs like the weather and behavior of animals, but soon he has arrived at Castle Dracula and is greeted by the Count. Harker and Dracula converse on a wide range and manner of topics, but mostly Dracula's purchase of an estate in London through Harker. It is made clear to Harker that Dracula is very knowledgeable on a wide range of topics. Over time, Harker becomes increasingly suspicious of Dracula. When he learns that there is no staff to the Count, and the fact that he has never seen Dracula during the daytime, Harker is not stunned to discover that he is in fact trapped in the castle. Harker attempts to contact his fiancée Mina, but all his attempts are intercepted by the Count. One night, when Harker's slumber is interrupted by a strange sound, he awakens to a confusing sight.
Oh. Look at that! Yeah. I don't think Dracula will mind if we take a bite. Hello.
Me! This one is mine.
Soon after, Jonathan is shaving with a small pocket mirror in his bathroom when Dracula sneaks up behind him. To Harker's surprise, he cannot see Dracula behind him. His reflection is not visible in the mirror. Dracula, enraged, throws the mirror out the window. Spotting a shaving cut on Harker's face, Dracula becomes crazed and then flees. Later, Harker spots Dracula climbing upside down a wall of the castle. Back in London, Mina, Jonathan Harker's fiancée, and Lucy exchange letters on their love lives and respective fiancés.
My dearest Lucy, I shall tell you all my little plans when we meet. I have just had a few hurried lines from Jonathan from Transylvania. He is well and will be returning in about a week. I am longing to hear all his news. It must be so nice to see strange countries. I wonder if Jonathan and I, shall ever see them together. There is the 10 o'clock bell ringing. Goodbye. Tell me all the news when you write. You have not told me anything for a long time. I hear rumors, and especially of a tall, handsome, curly-haired man.
My dearest Mina, it's been far too long since we last conversed, and I am greatly pleased to hear from you again. Your situation with your dearest Jonathan is rather unfortunate. I hope he returns to you safe and well as soon as possible. But I do have rather sweet news to tell you. Only a few days ago, I was presented with 3 suitors, all on the same day asking me for my hand in marriage. I'm still quite not yet sure of which one to choose, and I have to confess that I do wish I could have all 3, but that is not the way of a good Victorian lady. Anyways, I do hope we can meet in person soon. All my love, and I need not tell you that this is a secret. Lucy.
Eventually, Lucy and Mina meet up, and Mina meets Lucy's fiancé, Arthur. Soon, Lucy restarts her childhood habit of sleepwalking. One evening, Lucy sleepwalks outside when she is attacked and bitten by Dracula. Mina does not realize and comes to her aid immediately after, unaware to the fact she has been bitten, and simply assumes that she's been attacked. Lucy is returned home, but gradually grows more and more ill. Lucy receives a blood transfusion from Arthur, her fiancé, and for a short period of time feels better. However, this does not last, and Dr. John Seward, one of Lucy's original suitors, calls a doctor he knows, Dr. Van Helsing, thinking that he might be able to help Lucy. When Van Helsing arrives, he immediately knows what's wrong with Lucy, but does not alert the others. Seward gives Lucy another blood transfusion after her condition decreases. Van Helsing then closes Lucy's window and places garlic flowers around her room. Lucy's mother arrives and accidentally sabotages Van Helsing's attempts by cleaning up the rubbish and opening Lucy's window to let in the fresh air. That night, a wolf, who is actually Dracula, jumps through the now open window to Lucy's room. Lucy's mother, out of shock, dies. Tragically, soon after Lucy dies. Meanwhile, at the mental asylum that John Seward runs, a deranged patient named Renfield builds a bond with Dracula that is brought on by Dracula's ability to control mentally unstable people. Renfield dies suspiciously when he is pushed in his room and suffers a large head wound. Also during these events, a suspicious attack and murder occurs on a ship arriving in London. The captain is found murdered and tied to the wheel of the ship, and coffins filled with earth are found in the hull. The captain's log also details strange events such as a large black dog jumping from the ship to the shore. Lucy is buried near her mother. Van Helsing then attempts to convince the others that Lucy should be beheaded in her coffin with her head tucked between her legs. The rest of the characters don't see the reasoning for this, however, and she is buried ordinarily. Only days later, the group find Lucy's grave open and puzzlingly empty. Van Helsing takes this opportunity to explain his suspicions all along that Lucy had been bitten by a vampire based on her condition, strange characteristics, and bite marks on her neck. He now fears that Lucy has been raised from the dead and is now a vampire. Meanwhile, local children have been going missing in unusual circumstances. His fears are confirmed when Arthur, Quincy, John, and Mina find Lucy inside a church drinking the blood of a child. Lucy unfortunately escapes for a short period of time before she is captured by the gang and is finally killed. Though the group knows she is now dead, they do not suffer a great deal of grief as she is finally at peace. They do not dwell on the death of Lucy for long and begin the process of a plan to capture and kill Count Dracula. Devastatingly, Mina is bitten by Dracula and forms a bond with him by the act of drinking each other's blood. This idea is called the vampire's baptism of blood, and will be expanded on later. The group of Lucy's 3 suitors makes fast work destroying Dracula's 50 coffins of Transylvanian earth, the only means of him remaining in London. Soon Dracula is confronted by the 3 in his home in London, and Dracula summons an army of rats to allow him to escape back to Transylvania as only 1 out of 50 boxes remains undestroyed. However, Quincy brings along 3 terriers trained for that purpose and the barrier of rats flees, but so too does Dracula. Dumbfounded on how to proceed with their quest, the gang returns home. After noticing Dracula's link to Mina, the gang realize what they must do. They hypnotize Mina, and she explains that Dracula is on some body of water as she can hear waves crashing. Realizing Dracula is returning home to Transylvania, and this may be the only opportunity in their lifetimes to destroy him, the gang and Mina rush to beat him there. When they arrive, they see Dracula carried by his servants up to the castle. There is a massive battle, and Quincy is killed, but so too is Dracula. Jonathan and Mina have a child, which they name Quincy in memory of Quincy Morris's brave work. The book ends with Harker's reflection on the events in his diary, a throwback to the beginning of the book.